Hey up YouTube, it's in Amiga 4 again with the Samsung Galaxy S2 running Android Gingerbread 2.3.6, and what I'm going to be showing you in this video is how to give yourself root access to your device on this operating system. Now, if you don't know what root access is, it's just basically giving yourself administrative privileges on the phone. So if you compare it to a PC where you don't have full access to do whatever you want or install whatever you want or uninstall whatever you want, like an administrator does. It's like being a administrator on the phone itself, so you can get rid of those crappy apps that sometimes manufacturers install on the devices. You can pretty much do whatever you want. So to begin with, we need to go through what you need for this. You need obviously Odin 3 version 1.8.85. I will put a link in the description where you can download it from. You're also going to need a custom ROM, which is specific to the firmware version that you've already got on the phone. Now, if you watched any of my previous videos, you will know that I've recently upgraded the firmware to version 2.3.6. In fact, I'll just show you what I have. So if I go to Applications, Settings, and then scroll down to About Phone, if I just show you, there you go. You can see the model number and the kernel version. That's the number specifically that we installed. That's the firmware. So 2.3.6 is the Android version, and the firmware version that we installed specifically is i9100XWKK5 is an important number. So the custom ROM is, you need to get the custom ROM which most matches the firmware version that we've got on. And the important thing to note down here is anything after the i9100. So we need to make a note of XWKK5 in my case. The first two characters after the i9100 are not that important, so we can ignore the XW, but what is important is the KK5, so we need to find a ROM version which closely matches that. I will put a link in the description of where you can find the ROM which most matches the KK5 for yourself to download. Once you have that, you're ready to rock. To begin with, you don't need your phone connected to the computer, so I'm just going to disconnect it as it is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to my computer and we'll show you what to do next. Okay, now that we've moved over to the PC, what we need to do is download. I've already downloaded the custom ROM, which was most matching the firmware of KK5, if you can remember that. I've extracted the file onto my desktop here. This is how it looks. As I say, I will put a link in the description of where you can download this file from. You can see there, looking at the file name, that it's got the KK5 custom ROM number, version number should I say, which is the one exactly matching the firmware version that I have for Android Gingerbread 2.3.6. So what we need to do next is, before we go any further, I'd just like to let you know that this shouldn't wipe anything off the phone. So you shouldn't have loss of contacts or apps or any settings or anything like that. This just amends the firmware that we already installed in a previous video. Okay, so but I would highly recommend, before you do anything like this, that you back up the phone using Samsung Keys or any other third-party software that you may have, because I don't hold no responsibility for anything that may go wrong, neither will Samsung. So just to begin, what we'll do, the tar files already extracted there. We've got Odin just underneath. I will put a link in the description of where you can download this custom ROM from, so you can just download that, as well as Odin 3 of course. So what we'll do is we'll run Odin 3 first. Okay, so we'll right click on Odin and run as administrator, just so that we've got the highest privileges there. What you need to do is make sure the phone isn't connected at this moment in time, as I unplugged it earlier, otherwise this box there would be yellow. We're leaving the repartition box unticked, so it's empty. You need to leave auto reboot and reset time on, or should I say ticked, and then all we're doing is we're leaving everything else empty apart from where it says PDO. So put a tick next to PDA, and then navigate to the location of where you have the custom ROM that we downloaded there. And then once you get to the custom ROM location, there's only one file there that it recognizes. So you select it, make sure it's the same one, KK5, yep, click open. It puts it in the correct location there, and then all we need to do is put the phone in download mode. So if we just move over to the phone, back on the phone, we just need to turn the phone off. So I'll just switch that off. Brilliant. Once it actually shuts down, what we need to do is put it in download mode. At the moment the phone's not connected, so all we're going to be doing is holding down the volume down button, pressing the home button, and then pressing the power button all at the same time. And once it gets us into the menu, then we'll select download mode. So that's now off. So all we do is press the volume down, press the home and the power together until it comes on. There we go. Brings us a warning which says a custom OS can cause critical problems in phone and installed applications. If you want to download a custom OS, press the volume up key, otherwise press the volume down key to cancel. We know what we're doing, so we're pressing the volume up key. So we'll do the up key there. There we go. It's in download mode now, so it says downloading, do not turn off target. It's not connected to anything, so it's not downloading. All we do is connect up the phone to the machine. There we go. That's now connected up. So if we move back over to the PC, moving back over to the computer, you can see now that the first communications box there is now yellow, signaling that it has recognized the phone, and you can see in the little message window it says added. So all we need to do now is click start. You can see it's going through the process along the bottom right in the message window, and on the phone you can see it's gone through the process really quickly. Going back to the Odin, you can see it's done the pass. That happened really quick. It's finished, and the phone is now booting back up. You can see with the triangle, with the yellow triangle with the exclamation mark in the middle. We'll just wait for that to boot up. We can now actually disconnect from Odin. We can close that down because we're done with it now. There's nothing more to do. Once the phone's rebooted, you can see my links are still there. If I go into my applications, you can see my folders are still there with all the apps inside of them. Everything's still working. Brilliant. On the applications screen, you will see 2 additional new icons once the ROM process or the flash process of the ROM has been completed. So you got root access. You can see there I've got CWM and super user. I think the CWM is just a ROM manager, and the super user, it gives you access. If I click on that first, it tells you what programs have root access. At the moment I've got none, so if it says no apps in list, if you can see that. If I scroll up, it gives you a log there as well. Don't know quite what that is, I'll have to mess around with that. But if I come out of that, if we go into the custom ROM manager, and it says super user request, the following app is requesting super user access. It gives you the app name, package, requested UID is root. The reason why, as well, if you're wondering why it's called root access and not administrator access, is because Android is a bogged down version of the Linux operating system, and Linux is wording for administrator is root. It's like master access, kind of. Anyway, going back to this, the CW manager super user request, it says it's asking for admin access basically. Do you want to allow it or no? We'll say allow, and see if it gives it access, and it says it's granted. Did you see that? Granted super user access, and you can do various tasks with it there. You can tell, it tells you what custom ROM manager is running, download mode, you can reboot it, it gives you backup stuff, you can restore a backup, delete backups, install applications, obviously flash another kernel on there, you can flash the firmware again, donate. I would recommend that you donate to the person who's uploaded this, as without it you wouldn't have access to root. I have already, incidentally. So if we go back, if I go in there again, you can see I'll just go back again so you can see it. Go back. So all I'm doing is clicking on that. You can see there it says CW has granted super user permissions. So I just wanted to show you that. The phone's now got root access. Any questions, do comment below. If you could click subscribe from the top, so you can check out some of my forthcoming videos. It doesn't cost you anything, it's free, and you can check out what I'm doing. Thanks for watching, and good night.